Without further ado, we're going to get right into our first segment. We're going to be going over to Anton Daniels and sitting back down with Charleston White. We already covered a piece of this interview, but like I said, there was a lot here to consume. And so we're gonna take it slow and take pieces off of this interview and really dissect a lot of this great conversation that they had. For sure. So shout out to Anton Daniels, shout out to Charleston White. And on this one, Charleston White will be giving his perspective on relationship with the police. And I'll be chiming in and giving y'all my 2 cents organically. Let's roll.
Yeah. Ain't he in his 50s?
He older than me, I think. No, he might a few years younger than me. Man, nigga don't want, homie, don't none of these niggas want no problem, homie. That's why ain't nobody caught me yet. These niggas don't want to catch me. How I could have been caught?
I guess, I don't know, man. I would think that
nigga
to make that type of money.
It ain't nothing to go to jail for beating me up. I'm just a $500 bond. It's a $500 bond.
That's true.
It's a misdemeanor. But what they know is he got something he gonna use. Not on that, I'm going to jail because he gonna call the police. Once I realize that the most self-defense tool you can use on a black man, I'm gonna call the police, nigga. Watch how fast he go when you try to act like you go down 911.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Absolutely. I'm gonna call the police. It's definitely
classic.
Come on, man. For sure. Yeah. Miles said, shotgun got a gray beard. Yeah. You saw that? He be dying it though. He's still with the die coalition. 333 in the chat. Everybody hit that like button. Let's do it.
Because if he do anything after that, the white man have put a law in place that's called interfering with a 911 call. If you say, bitch, I don't give a damn about you calling 911, and she on the phone with 911 and 911 her, that's interfering because you're trying to intimidate her. Yeah. That's a felony offense, nigga. Just get 911 on the call and let him talk bad in the background. Just call 911 and let him talk bad in the background. He'll get all kind of felonies. Stupid ass nigga. The only way to beat the white man is with his law. That's why he make laws every year that you can't keep up with.
Yeah. Hey, pay attention. It's a lot going on. The test down. What up? The chat filing in 333. You know what
classic.
It is. Yeah. See, this the thing though. And I'm on the opposite side of the fence of Charleston White, but I understand where he's coming from and I respect everything he's saying. See, I can understand and appreciate the logic in what somebody's saying and still disagree with them. You know, we all got our own positions on things. I'm not a person who believes in contacting law enforcement, but I also am not a person who believes law enforcement isn't necessary. I personally don't believe in contacting law enforcement. If that's who I got to call to get an ambulance in a situation where I need an ambulance, yeah. You know what I mean? But in a situation where it's like about danger and life and death and all that, the police ain't going in 99% of the cases, the police ain't going to get there quick enough to save you from whatever is going on currently. So calling 911 never really comes to mind for me. However, in the way of being a person that's fighting against the propaganda, fighting against a lot of the black ignorance that's cool in the culture and speaking out against it verbally and vocally against these hyper feminine men who put on to be masculine because they're willing to be violent in the way of pulling triggers. This is all allegedly for content creation purposes and entertainment. But when you speak out against those said people and they willing to spend thousands of dollars to get somebody to come try to do something to you and stuff like that, he's right. The best way to intimidate them, the best way to keep them from budging, the best way to keep them from touching you is to let them know I'm calling 12. You come over here messing with me. I understand the law. I know what I can do to you based on what you said you're going to do to me. And I know who to call to make sure everything go my way in regards to this issue that we have. So Charleston White just playing chess, whether I agree with calling the police or not. He playing chess, and I don't really necessarily have a problem with it. And to be honest with you, for all the cops that still got some level head, some level of a pure heart, that haven't been tainted by the game, tainted by the institution, tainted by the, the association, tainted by, et cetera, all the different things you've seen and experienced and all the different low vibrational people you deal with on a day-to-day basis, for all the cops that's still untainted and still out here, giving people a pass when it ain't that big of a deal. The ones that still out here, give a kid a ride to school instead of chastising them about what he, just them good cops. For all of them out there, you know what I'm saying? Do your best to stay pure, man, because law enforcement is necessary. You got a lot of people that's out here getting old alone for a lot of different reasons, whether they widowed, on the male or the female side, or whether they just never had nobody, or whether they kids then uprooted and left, and whatever the reason. You got a lot of people that's getting old alone, and the wolves oftentimes feast on the elderly. You know what I'm saying? And so you need law enforcement. You need law enforcement, but you need the good ones. Them wild cowboys who couldn't throw them hands in high school and that got bullied and picked on and went and picked up a badge and a shield or whatever to try to, get they lick back on society for what they feel like they've been through. Them boys, we could do away with them, but let's let Charleston cook.
The only way to beat the white man in America is with his law. Don't you know a slave mailed himself in the mail and got out of slavery by mailing with the law? So, man, nigga, you dumbass nigga can't come on here and argue with me and be talking about hurting me. You looking for me and you publicly saying this. The only reason I got charged with those 2 aggravated assaults because I once went against our police department when an officer got killed. That's what brought me and Tegan together. My best friend, one of my best friend's sons by the name of Dacian Steptoe, killed a high-ranking Fort Worth police officer. Once I spoke about that on Cam Newton's podcast, that's when they put those charges on me. As soon as I came back from that podcast, that's because I pulled the scab off. But because they unjustly and wrongfully had killed that kid. They didn't bring him to trial. They executed him on the spot because nigga Garrett Hull was a bad motherfucker in the police department.
Yeah.
They executed that. So nigga, when I brought that up, homie, that nigga, when I got back, nigga, they had charges, felony charges on me. So they called that kicking the ball down the road. They knew I was gonna beat it. But nigga, they knew, man, nigga, I was attacked. And this guy.
Hey, that's crazy. Now that's the same thing. So now y'all see why I say I don't believe in necessarily tapping in with law enforcement like that on a personal level for me. Do I think they need to exist? Sure. But the police definitely be gang banging allegedly off of content creation purposes and entertainment. They definitely be gang banging, don't they? You done said something that was, rightfully in your rights to say and to speak on. And then as soon as you get back to your hometown, the folk out here harassing you and things. Because they don't like what you said, against how they getting down. That's gang banging in a real way. So yeah, we know what that is. The Tez Down said the police are gonna take their time on purpose. Yeah, they not. Listen, them boys ain't superheroes. Supervisors to a degree. Superheroes, absolutely not. Couple of them, not too many. Let's go.
Was a killer. This was our Woody. This was our thug.
Yeah.
Everybody scared of this nigga, homie. I ain't scared of evil, nigga, because I know what these niggas scared of. Yeah. Me and the law. And guess who the law? Me, nigga. I work, nigga. I helped the FBI create a new COINTELPRO just like they used nigga to kill Fred Hampton. I'm the nigga they can get to kill Fred Hampton again. Nigga better leave me alone. Nigga make me mad. I go work with the police against them, nigga. And I really love the police. I really love law enforcement because I think them the baddest motherfuckers walking on earth. Law enforcement. I see how everybody get right when they come around.
Now y'all see why Charleston stay viral, because the police ain't the baddest mofos walking on earth. That's a bit much. That's a whole lot, actually. They're not the baddest mofos walking on earth. You got all type of Marines, Navy SEALs, MI6, you know what I'm saying? And then that's just on the side of the people that's supposed to be the quote unquote good guys or the government or whatever the case may be, allegedly all for content creation purposes. But then you got the people that's just as high level, but working in the underworld on the criminal side. You know what I'm saying? So the police, that's tier one of like the bad mofos, if you really want to get to talking about it. But what he says is polarizing, and that's why he stay making a lot of money doing interviews. Shout out to Charleston White.
I wish I could have been one. So now, nigga, I just join them in spirit.
What do you think about DC and the police?
I think we need to go to Chicago next, Trump. I think Chicago next. Go put them boots on the ground, kick them niggas' ass. Cause listen, never in the history of America until they had niggas fresh out of slavery. Until niggas was trying to be a Black Wall Street, they had never went a whole week and niggas didn't kill nobody. When we had a struggle, we didn't have black on black crime. Nigga had to be a roof and try to stop the toilet from leaking. These niggas got somewhere free to stay. So they got time to kill one another. We need fuck the National Guard. Send them motherfuckers that caught Bin Laden. Get them niggas ass out of retirement.
Hey, that's who you gonna have to send to Chicago. Them boys got switches on everything. They'll put a switch on a 22 out here, boy.
And send them to they call it Chirac, don't they?
Yeah.
Don't they call it Chirac?
Sure.
Then let Trump send the federal military on there and kick them niggas in their ass. That's the only thing go get these niggas right. They went a whole week with 0 murders. Thank you, Donald Trump. That's unheard of in America.
Let me get to the chat real quick. Shout out to Souls of Thought 333. What up, my dog? Soft Rain 333. What's up? Miles Bassett said the police know where to find action and they don't be there. They be at Dunkin' Donuts, just enough miles away to say it's gonna take us 15 minutes to make it. Souls of Thought said, you Anton changed his stance. Anton changed whose stance? Charleston White stance. Shout out to everybody in the chat. What's good?
Classic.
Somebody dies every 3 minutes in America. Thanks to Donald Trump, and 0 bodies was counted.
Recently, one person died.
Okay, I don't want to get too far into this. I just wanted to cover the part about police relationships amongst black men. Charleston White is one of the few black men that you will hear saying that he loves law enforcement, that he loves the police. You know, he utilizes them for his protection strategically. Understanding the law will take you very far, though, especially as a person who, because, you know, a lot of us black folks, we like to play like I'm not saying that we not disproportionately discriminated against or that there's no systemic, you know, oppression in place to some degree. It's just not to the degree that we exaggerate. We not victims. Like, we have every capability of being successful. So, you know, I'm not gonna act like, you know, but if you are a so-called, you know, disenfranchised person, or this person who is, you know, of a certain ilk, and so you're discriminated against by all the powers that be, and that's what's in your mind, I think that having a healthy understanding of the law, like Charleston White is exhibiting here, will benefit you in a lot of ways in handling your life situations, even if you should have to deal with law enforcement or if you got to deal with criminals. But yeah, man, shout out to Anton Daniels and Charleston White, and we gonna chew off of that interview a little bit more as well later on.
Classic.
All right, so if you like what you just saw, support the channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and jump in the comments. Talk to me so we could crack these codes. If you want to support the channel monetarily, go to my website and cop some merch, www.theclassiccodes.com, or you can shoot me a Cash App. Either way, stick to the codes.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold. Harden my heart and now harden the flow.